Hello and welcome to Horror Month 2020. Yeah, I didn't really think I'd be doing this. We're here at, well, it's for me filming this, it's October 1st, 2020. And I just decided not to do this, to do the 31 days of horror. I mean, I haven't done it the past few years anyway. The last time I did it was October 2016. And that was a really packed month. I did like 31 horror reviews, 31 gaming streams every night. Burned myself out for a good few years worth of doing the horror month thing. Then I did my Asian cinema seasons, and it's been a year now since Asian cinema season 2. And I don't know why, I just suddenly felt compelled to just say, fuck it, horror month, let's do it. Now I don't know if it's going to be every day. I'll try, we'll see where it goes. I thought it'd be fun to post the Beetlejuice 4K Conquer My Collection video as October 1st rolled around. But then I just thought, well, let's try and actually watch at least some of the horror films I have in my collection that I haven't seen yet. Because I do like to be pushed by a challenge. The only thing is, I really drag my ass when it comes to setting up the camera, the lights, the microphone. It's a whole thing, you know, and I bounce back and forth between wanting every video to have the best sound and visual quality that it possibly can with the equipment I have, and then just saying, you know what, no one fucking cares if I just do a video like this where, yeah, it's probably a bit echoey, probably, you know, there's probably some interference in the background, the microphone on the camera is not very good, but you can hear what I'm saying. And so yeah, we're going to go a little bit rough and gritty for these videos. It'll just be me sat in the living room with, you know, looking like this, and it is what it is. So I brought down a stack of Blu-rays, 3 stacks of Blu-rays. Was seeing if Connie would be interested in seeing any of these, and this is where we run into a little bit of a snag, as we usually do when it comes to horror films, is because I like to be very liberal and loose with the term horror. Horror. For me, a horror film is a very broad statement. Now there's the obvious ones that are very much horror movies, but then there are things that are, you know, maybe a bit more like on the thriller side, which people will say that's not a horror movie, and I would kind of agree, but I like to open it up a little bit for myself. So there will be traditional horror in this, you know, this horror month for 2020. But there'll be some dancing around those rules and criteria as well, just because I like a bit of variety. I like horror comedy, or, you know, a monster movie and things like that. Connie is very strict. To Connie, it's, if it doesn't scare me, it's not a horror movie. If it was made before like the 90s, it's not a horror movie. You know? She's like has a very narrow-minded view of what constitutes a horror movie. In fact, I think we got into a big debate over this during the last time we did a horror month, which is in 2016, when we covered The Terminator. She was adamant it's not a horror film, and I'm like, it's a fucking slasher. Like, it's, you know, Terminator 2, maybe that's more of an action film, you know, but she was like, nope, sci-fi action, it's not horror at all, it doesn't scare me. Okay. Anyway, so this is just an announcement that I'll be doing it. Maybe I'll just go through the stuff that I have, and you can chime in the comments with, oh, you should, because I'm not going to get to all of these. These are just like some of the ones I might watch. So I can show you what I've got, and you can either go, oh, that one's good, I hope you cover that one, and I might be more inclined to watch it. Or you can chastise me for saying, that's not a horror film, you know, just rolling up the sleeves, let me tell Luke how wrong he is about considering that a horror film. It's in the horror sphere, you know, it might not be right in the middle where the things are really hardcore, but you know, on the edges there's still some things that, you know, fall into that realm. And there's a few things I didn't bring down either. And then that's not even counting streaming, so I don't know. Let's just rattle through a few. I'm not going to talk about them all because it'll be here for ages, but we got Screamers. We have got, oh, let's see this one. This isn't a horror at all. It's just kind of a thriller about a murder, you know. So it kind of is what it is. We've got Blowout, Brian De Palma. We got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Me and Connie had a very long discussion over this because she's like, no, I don't like it, he looks like he's got a rabbit and stuff, and I'm like, you think of a different movie, and then she's like, yeah, there's all the creepy one like this, and I'm thinking, Nosferatu, the silent film? She's like, no, it wasn't that, I saw it in the cinema. I'm like, okay. We figured out it was it Shadow of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe? she saw that and was traumatized by it. The Happiness of the Katakuris, Deep Rising. Definitely going to watch this one because Connie really wants to watch it. I haven't seen this since the cinema, Van Helsing, so that's like a good 15 years. We got House, Night of the Comet. Some of these I have seen, some of them I haven't. Oh yeah, so Body Bags, I might want to watch that again. I don't know if Connie has seen it. This one I'm 100% showing Connie, that's Prince of Darkness, one of my favourite horror films ever. Christine is another one I'd like to show to Connie. Bong Joon-ho's The Host, wouldn't mind watching that again, watched that many years ago. Nick Cage, Pay the Ghost. We got Orphan. Got some J-horror with Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Pulse. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I still don't know if I've seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, so that might be a bit of a redundant watch. Nightmares. Again, this is more of a thriller and kind of a true story, gritty murder drama, but you know, this is where I like to just just nudge the door of horror open just a little bit and let some thrillers inside. We got 10 Rillington Place. Dark Water. This is one I have to get to because it's traumatized me since a kid. We got Candyman. I know it was just the trailers traumatized me. I haven't seen the actual film. The Man with Two Brains. This just seems very goofy, and I would put in kind of the horror comedy realm. We have Hex, Hong Kong horror movie. We got The Blob. Masters of Horror. I haven't seen the other two. I've seen Cigarette Burns for John Carpenter, but I haven't seen the other two. I'd like to give this another shot because when I first watched it, it's like one of the most highly regarded horror films of all time. And I didn't like it very much, didn't think it was that great. And every time I've watched it since, I thought, ooh, I like that a lot more than the last time, and it's Halloween. Maybe one to save for Halloween. Got the Bela Lugosi Edgar Allan Poe set from Masters of Cinema. You have The Man Who Laughs. I don't know if this is very horror-y kind of title, but certainly the visual of his face is quite horrifying. The Editor, this was sent to me many years ago, still haven't got to it. Again, more of a thriller, The Call. Definitely more of a thriller. It is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo trilogy, the extended, well, you can see the camera there. The extended TV versions. And all I can say is there's stuff in that first story that is horrific and quite scary. And reading that original book sent a chill up my spine more than a few times. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This isn't even a horror film at all. I think it's a comedy thriller. I'm sure it isn't really that thrilling either. Got Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. That I kind of throw in there because it's kind of like, it just feels like that kind of, it's like a late night movie. That's what I associate horror films with. The kind of movies you watch at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, flicking through the TV channels. I like that feeling. That's why I associate with horror, I guess. Horror Express, really want to watch that one. We got some Giallos, we got Deep Red. Haven't seen that one. I do really like Argento. This one, no, this isn't a horror film in the slightest. Yeah, this is just, again, like a midnight kind of movie. This is Zoo Warriors from the Magic Mountain. Body Double, another De Palma thriller. Soylent Green, which I've been spoiled about, and if that isn't a horrifying plot element, I don't know what is. We got Fritz Lang's Destiny. Again, I don't know how much of a horror film this is, but it's about a man in his confronting death, you know. So it's like yeah, it's more like a gothic kind of film. Oh yeah, there's more. That was just the first two stacks. We have Kaidan, The Old Dark House, some more Argento, Tenebrae, Dressed to Kill, another De Palma, Inferno, another Brian De Palma, Phantom of the Paradise. We have another De Palma, Obsession. The original The Thing from Another World. I'd like to revisit this one. Connie has said absolutely no. She probably never wants to see this again, which is a real shame, but it is Carrie, masterpiece of horror, I think. Just a great story. I did bring up rewatching the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but she wasn't keen on it. She said, well, we only just recently watched those, and it was 9 years ago. yeah, I'm keen to go back to these, but I want to do it with Connie because we watched them all together for the first time. So we have the House collection. Some more Arrow Video stuff. We have Life Force. If Hell Comes to Frogtown. Oh, and I brought this down, The Exorcist, to see if I could convince Connie to watch it. She will never watch this film, and it's a shame because she's missing out on not only one of the greatest horror films of all time, but I think one of the great films. And finally, this is something I have to get to. It is Hellraiser. Never seen any of them. So there you go. How many is that? Let's count that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It is always weird how we do that, isn't it? The old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've mentioned that before, so I'm just repeating myself. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. There's another film in there that has multiple, so it would 60 plus movies. Never going to get through all of them. But yeah, so comment down below what you're going to watch for this October. I do like it. I like the idea of watching horror films in October because I'm not as much of a horror buff, but I would do it year round. So it's an exciting prospect for me to do this, but it's the time consuming element. You know, I should be editing 24-hour movie marathon 8, which I still will be. I just need to shave off some of those hours where I just am unproductive and do fuck all, and use it to watch a horror film and make a quick video like this, vlog style, handheld, just getting it done and talking about the film, which should be more important than the way this video looks or sounds. I think, I hope. You can be the judge of that. So stay tuned for the first one, which I'll upload straight away along with this, and let me know your thoughts of what you'll be watching this month. And if any of the films I've just shown are ones you would notably say, hey, you should watch that one for sure, or something like that. Any recommendations you have from the stack that I'm already eyeing up, which I know I probably won't even get to like a third of these if I know me, but it would be nice if I got to at least some of them. Half would be good, but then that would be 30 films, wouldn't it? So yeah, we'll see. But I'd like to, again, knock off more of these films, and the first one I am going to go with is Village of the Damned. So stay tuned for a video on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.